G'day, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 79 of Chance Ball, and this one is titled Wobble Graduation. Does he look like how you thought he would look? Dabi asked her.
Well, I thought he wore the white, but he has a red top and white on the bottom,
she replied thoughtfully. Maybe he wears different clothes when he's working. Dabi offered.
Oh.
You two are hilarious, you said with amusement as they entered the lounge room again, holding your hand out for the food to be given to you. Daddy-daughter duo, Dabi replied, sitting down on the lounge next to you and putting the volleyball on for you all to watch as you ate dinner. It was now the night of the Wobble volleyball graduation ceremony, and all the parents and extended families, along with Mrs. Totoro and Mr. Totoro, were all there watching the kids demonstrate their skills in the backyard of the Totoro residence. You were a little nervous, to be honest, but the kids were super excited to show their skills to their parents and guardians. To make things a little easier, you had them separated into their classes so they were familiar with the other kids, and they had them waiting off to the side while you addressed all the parents and other family members and explained the skills that you had taught to them. Our youngest ones are not so young anymore, you said as you grinned at the twin boys waiting off to the side. Kyo and Goro have grown so much since starting here, and they'd like to show you how they can bounce the balls on their wrists up to 10 times. The expectant crowd clapped with anticipation, and you called the boys forwards to show what they could do. One by one, each child showed their skill set until it came time for the older kids to show their serving skills over the net, and you could hear a number of the parents making sounds of surprise at the power these now 4-year-olds had. Harima, the eldest of all the kids that you had, was a focused and powerful server, and it didn't matter where you sat the empty bottle on the other side of the net, she could hit it every time. At the end of the display, you awarded each child with a certificate of achievement for graduating from Wobble Volleyball Training Centre and a lollipop. Unsurprisingly, they were more excited about the lollipop than the certificate, and as the night drew to a close, they got up to leave. Well, that went smoothly, Dabi said with a kiss to your temple as he hugged you for a job well done. That was stressful, but it's all done now.
Are we going to go on holidays now?
Koemi asked with excitement. Yes, we leave tomorrow morning, you said excitedly to her. She gasped with joy and clapped her hands together and then ran ahead to the car parked inside the gates while you and Dabi packed the things away near the door. Thank you for a good year, Mr. Totoro said with a smile as he came out to see you off. I look forward to meeting the new kids next year. It'll be another fun-filled year, you said to him. More fighting over volleyballs when there's enough to go around. He chuckled. That's what I love about it. You and Dabi said goodbye and then met Missy K at the car and got in to go home. Dabi tried to look relaxed for the drive home, but internally he was packing it, and his mind kept going over everything, wondering if there was anything that he might have forgotten for the wedding day. Babe? You asked him as you pulled into the driveway, with Missy K asleep in the back. He hummed, his mind coming back from elsewhere. You okay? You asked. Huh? Yeah, why? He asked. Oh, you just seem to be brooding over something. Oh, nah, it's fine. I was just wondering if we paid for the accommodation. Yeah, we literally did that straight after we booked the place. Oh, must have forgotten. Dabi lied. I need this holiday too, my brain's fried. Like your face? I'm sorry, you cackled. He looked across at you with a deadpan look on his face. You won't be laughing like that when I do your throat, huh? He rebutted. Come here, let me show you how to deal with that smart mouth. Daddy, wait! You laughed, trying to pull your head back when he reached over and grabbed you by the back of the neck and dragged your head down into his lap. Wait! Your fighting was only playful, and he could tell you weren't serious about him stopping, so he unzipped his pants. I frickin' love you, okay? He whispered lovingly. That next day, you all packed your things ready for your holiday. Koemi was the most excited and wanted to pack everything from her room into the back, including the curtains, which you discovered when you came in to see what she was doing and found her trying to rip them off the curtain rings. Ko, what are you doing? You gasped.
I want to bring them with me to the holiday,
she said emphatically. No, we don't need to bring them with us. We're coming back to this house after the holidays, so they'll still be here when we get back.
Are we coming back?
She asked, stopping the tugging on them. Yes, sweetheart, that's what I said.
Are we coming back tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow, but we'll be coming back when we finish our holiday.
On a very far away day?
Well, yeah, it's going to be a little while, you thought out loud. Ready, girls? Dabi called up the stairs. Coming, Daddy, you called back. Come on, sweetheart, Mummy has your bag all packed. You just need to get Wobble and you're all set, you said to her. She hesitated a little and then conceded and left with one last look back at the curtains.
I Bye-bye, soft flappies. I see you soon.
She called to them softly before grabbing Wobble, who was sitting at the bedroom door and proudly walked ahead of you down the stairs and out the front door. What was the hold-up? Darby asked when you got her into her seat and then hopped into the passenger side. She wanted to bring the curtains with us on the holiday, you said in a can-you-believe-it type voice. Oh, of course, because that makes perfect sense. He replied in a mocking, completely understanding voice. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. You chuckled and looked back at her as Darby backed out of the driveway. And off we go on our holiday, you sung to her. Yay! She beamed with excitement and put her hands in the air. And with that, you were off. The weather was perfect, and you and Darby picked songs to listen to on the way up, occasionally throwing in a song or two for Koemi. When you got to your destination, Darby hopped out to go to the reception and get the keys for the room, and you turned around in your seat to check on Koemi, who had gone very quiet. She was snoozing gently in the car seat, and you smiled to yourself and then settled down to wait for Darby to return. Once he got the keys, he drove the car around to the other side of the building and parked outside your room door. Okay, this is it, he said as he hopped out of the car with the door still open. Missy K's asleep, so maybe you take the stuff in and I'll wait here and then we can see if we can transfer her to one of the beds in there, you said softly to him as he stood there at the open door. He nodded and looked in at her, and then walked to the boot and gently clicked it open so he could get the bags out. Darby was only too happy to take the stuff inside while you waited in the car, as it gave him time to hide a few items he didn't want you to find, and then he came back out to help you get her out of the car and into one of the beds. Where do you want her? He whispered to you as he carried the still sleeping form into the place. Maybe on our bed for now? I'll leave the door open so that she can hear us when she wakes and won't freak out too much. Yeah, good thinking, he said, as he followed you into the room and lay her down and gently tucked her in with her wobble ball beside her. Ah, you sung softly as you walked to the window to look out at the beach view. This is perfect. It is, Darby said as he walked up behind you and wrapped his arms around your waist from behind and then kissed you on the back of your neck and swayed you gently from side to side. Can you believe we've been together for 3 years now? Maybe longer, you commented. I'm sure it's closer to 4 years, he replied. I can't believe we haven't killed each other yet, you joked. Yeah, you're still tolerable, he quipped. Shut up, as if you're any more tolerable than I am, you chuckled as you turned in his arms and placed your hands up on his cheeks to hold him steady as you kissed his lips. Did you want to go out for dinner tonight? Darby asked after you'd kissed him. There's a nice teppanyaki restaurant near here. Oh, how'd you know that? You asked with surprise. I saw it when I was researching this place. He lied quickly. Oh, awesome. Yeah, let's check it out, he said with a grin, buying his reply without a second thought, which he was grateful for. You chatted a little more while hugging at the window, then Komi woke up with a fright and called out nervously. Well, looks like she's up, you said with a smile as he walked to the room to get her. Darby watched you go and smiled to himself as he looked out the window again down to the beach. Tomorrow we'll be legally husband and wife. All my dreams have come true. I have the girl of my dreams. I'm a dad to an awesome little girl, and tomorrow we finally make it official. See? Here's Daddy, Darby heard you say as you carried a worried little Komi on your hip. Daddy, she said with relief when she saw him there and stretched out her arms with Wobble Ball in one hand for him to take her and give her a cuddle. What's wrong, baby? He asked as he took her and held her tight. I waked up and I didn't know where you and Mummy had gone, she said in a quivering voice. We're right here, he said as he gave her a cuddle. Mummy and Daddy will always be here. He smiled at you and you gave him a loving look in reply. Oh, he's so soft for his girl, you thought as you watched him calm your mildly location-confused daughter. He really has become the perfect dad. We have the perfect life. All that would be left to complete it would be to get married. Once little Koemi had settled down a little, Darby suggested a walk on the beach, so you left to get that soul-reviving sand between your toes. You and he walked and talked while Koemi ran around picking up shells and pieces of seaweed. And at the time you didn't think it was suspicious, but Darby kept giving you and Ko really uncharacteristically loving looks while you strolled hand in hand. Just thinking it was because of the sea change and good vibes, you let it slide, but deep down you liked that he was showing a little more of his soft side than what he usually did. And as the sun started to make its descent to the horizon, he suggested the restaurant. Can I change into something a little nicer? You asked him, looking down at the very normal/daggy clothes you had on. It doesn't matter, does it? He asked with a shrug. Nah, I guess not, but I still want to put on something nice, you said, as you all headed back to your room with Koemi gleefully running ahead. Okay, Darby said with a hidden smirk. He did like it when you dressed up a little. So, after another hour, you were ready to go, and he looked you up and down with a hungry look in his eye.
Mummy, you look beautiful,
Komi said as she walked out into the open area and looked at you. Beautiful, indeed, Dabi agreed. I know what I'm having for dessert. Stop it, Daddy, you chuckled, giving him a kiss as he tried to grab a handful of you. After fending him off, you took Ko's hand in yours, and then off you walked out the door to head to the restaurant that was only a few paces down from where you were staying. Welcome, the guy on the door greeted as you stepped in. Table for 3? Can we sit along the barbecue top? Dabi asked, gesturing to where one of the chefs was just warming up the plate. Of course, the greeter said, walking ahead of you to the barbecue top to get you set up with Komi in the high chair. This man makes food for us on here and gives it to us, Dabi said to Komi, who was looking at the barbecue plate intently.
Is it hot, Daddy?
She asked, pointing to it. Yeah, baby.
Can I touch it?
No, it's hot.
Is that man gonna touch it?
She asked, pointing to the chef, who was grinning as he listened in on the conversation. Do you want me to touch it? He asked, putting a flat hand extended out over the plate. She hesitated and looked at him, and then at his hand, and then back to him.
Is it gonna be hot?
She asked him. And there ends chapter 79. Stay tuned for chapter 7010. No, I'm kidding. It's 80. Chapter 80 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.